You know what time it
Time to
is.
stand up and speak your mind. In this elitist jungle, keep the beats alive. Whether yoga or doja that keeps you high. Gotta stay up, cause on the street you die. Time to wake up and see the light. Stop counting sheep, seize your life. Free your eyes and see suns rise on the horizon. Where the street meets the sky. The master's ignorance feeds our master's greed.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. Let's get this mic adjusted. Yeah, man, what's good? What's going on with you guys? How's everybody doing this morning? I'm coming at you a little bit later in the day. Oh, 0757. That's right. I've been working on some podcasts this morning, doing some editing and putting together some stuff. Excuse me. But I wanted to get in here and talk about another little topic that's been on my mind. Kind of follow up with the stories we tell ourselves a little bit, and I kind of talked a little bit about, what's the story you're telling yourself about who you are, right? And what's the projection that you live up to, right? And so I wanted to talk about the projections a little bit and talk about the stories. So the idea I kind of want to talk about is this idea of the hero versus the villain. What story are you telling yourself? Are you a hero or are you a villain? And this can really go into how you feel about yourself and how you show up for the world. Now there are benefits to both of these, and there are pros and cons to everything, obviously. But I kind of wanted to talk about my thoughts on this, what some of the pros and cons might be for these things. Yeah. So let's see here. The hero story, right? If you're telling yourself the hero story, what does that mean for you? What is your projection then of a hero? How are you showing up if you're telling yourself the hero story? Okay, so let's say you're telling yourself, you're writing this story about a hero, and what is a hero to you? So you would want to get into some of the values and characteristics, right? It's a good idea to write down in your journal. I want to tell the story. I want to be the hero of my story. I want to tell a story of me being a hero. What does a hero look like? What does a hero do? What are the values of a hero, and what are the characteristics of a hero? Right? Now, how could this get in the way of my relationships, and how can this get in the way of the way that I show up in the world, right? How to be an effective hero, and how to be, what could be effective ways and ineffective ways of this showing up for me, and just some ideas that I thought in my head of how this could become an issue, right? For me, let's just say. So again, we talk about my projection, or the person that I want to be is I want to be a strong man, right? And I have some ideas of what a strong man is. Now, part of that strong man is the hero, right? A strong man can be a hero. So what does that mean for me when I show up in a relationship or with relationships with people? How do I show up in the world, right? How do I show up for my daughter as the hero, right? And we kind of mentioned a little bit about being on that white horse, the knight in shining armor come riding in on the white horse, right? And am I being a superhero? Am I doing this all the time? Now, if you're doing this all the time, that could get in the way. Some people don't want you to be the hero. And so that's when communication comes in, and knowing who you are and what you do and how you show up in the world is really important, which is why the journal can be so important, because in your journal, you can write these things down, get them out of your head, and then you can see them in a way that makes sense to you. Oh, This is why I show up like that, because I'm trying to be a fucking superhero. I'm trying to be Superman over here and fucking do everything because Superman is a strong man, right? Lois Lane didn't like Clark Kent. She wasn't in love with Clark Kent. She was in love with fucking Superman. And we've been taught that. Us men have been taught that our whole lives. You know? Shit. Fucking Lois was in love with Superman. I have to fucking be Superman. Wow. Holy shit. Right? So the hero. Right? So some of the things I wrote down here as a hero, being a hero. Saving people. Right? Am I saving people? Am I showing up in these relationships trying to save you? Are you a damsel in distress? Because I'm going to try to save you. Maybe you're not a damsel in distress. Maybe you are. Maybe I'm looking for those things in you that seem like it might be a damsel in distress to me, and I'm going to try to fix those. I'm going to work on fixing those. And subconsciously, that's what can happen. Subconsciously, I go into superhero mode because that's the projection I want to live up to. And boom, holy crap, right? This could lead into some people pleasing, actually, because if I am trying to be everybody else's hero and take care of everybody else and making sure that they're happy and they're taken care of and that everything's happening there, that everyone's happy, now I'm people pleasing, and when I'm people pleasing, I'm not taking care of Jason's needs. Jason's needs have gone out the window, and now I'm right. So Clark Kent just got fucking put in the closet. You put on the Superman uniform, and old Clark Kent's needs aren't being met anymore. And there's Clark Kent still in there. He didn't go anywhere. He's just he's still in there, right? But now Clark Kent, fucking old poor Clarky over here, you know. People pleasing. And then I thought about this with parenting, right? And this is a big difference between men and women and their styles in parenting. And this is a big issue, you know, this is an issue that I have with co-parenting with my baby mama, you know, and we were told this by a professional outside, you know, social worker, that the things that her and I disagree on are age old. You know, as old as time itself, that these are things that married couples who love each other freaking disagree on. And those are the differences between men and women. You know, a woman wants to nurture and care for and oh, little baby girl. And a man's like, slap a Band-Aid on it and rip the Band-Aid off and get out there and get back on that horse. On the horse. Right? But those are the things, you know. And so are you helicoptering? Right? Is your being the hero helicoptering, right? You being super mom? Are you being superwoman, right? Are you people pleasing, right? Are you, you're thinking that by making everything smooth and making everything calm and smooth that you are helicoptering, right? That's a big thing, helicoptering. Helicopter parenting. We definitely got to make sure that we're letting our kids learn. And I know that this is difficult for me, and I'm the rip the Band-Aid off style. But there are still things where I'm like, oh God, don't do that. Be careful. Get off of there. Don't. It can be difficult. I mean, one of the things I like to teach my baby girl is, hey, what do we do when we fall down, baby girl? We get back up. I know it hurts. Like, validate. I know that hurts, huh? That was a big fall. That was scary. Was that scary? I know. Yeah, I know. Hey, but guess what? Let's get back up and keep going, okay? What do we do when we fall down? We get back up. I know it hurts, but we got to get back up and keep moving, okay? I'm hoping I hope I validate her, and at the same time, I hope I give her the jewels to get back up. I hope that she sees me fall down and I get back up. I know she's seen me bump my head or kick my shin or bump something, and I'm like, oh goodness, that hurt so bad. But we got to keep going, right? I've been taking her out skateboarding with me, and she hasn't seen Daddy fall just yet. She will one day, but that's another way. Set an example. Daddy busts his ass and gets back up, and we keep moving forward. Good lessons, helicopter, hero, right? So as you're telling yourself the story of the hero, make sure that you're being reasonable, right? Let's be reasonable. Now, let's talk about the villain. Whoo. Now, are you the villain in your story? I've been the villain in my story. I've told a villain story before. Okay? I've been a villain. And this can be treacherous territory as well, and we have to be really careful about how we go about this. This is, again, my opinion and some of the things that I've learned along the way. Now, when you paint, one of the things I recently picked up and recently learned, and I've sort of known this for a little bit, but it was made clear to me, is one of the reasons we like these anti-hero stories in movies and in stories is because we all recognize the part of us that can be the monster. We all recognize that. We all know that we have that inside of us. This capacity to fucking be a monster, right? And I think the key to understanding yourself, one of the keys to this is to recognize that and admit that and own the fact that you can be a monster, right? And then learn how to control the monster. This is a big thing. So what can this affect if you're telling the villain story, right? And I've been a villain before, and I've told the villain story. And one of the reasons I was the villain or am a villain in my story is due to my own self-esteem, because I don't think I'm worthy. And so I can become my own villain, and I will sabotage myself because I'm treating myself poorly, and I'll get out there and be a monster, right? And when I'm the monster to somebody else, that person will not like me, and then I can justify this idea that I'm a piece of shit, that I'm not worthy. Now that's self-sabotage, but that's a villain. You're being your own villain. You're being a villain to yourself. So understanding those things, right? And right, being a monster, right? So if you're painting yourself as a villain, you believe you're the villain and you're going to act out the monster, project the monster onto the world. Is that being careless? I put being careless, right? And you could easily catch a case of the fuck it's. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. I'm just a fucking piece of shit monster. I'm a fucking villain up in this motherfucker anyway. What difference does it make? I'll never be a hero, right? Oh, good gods. That's dangerous. That can be dangerous in your relationships, in your job, in your life, period. That can be dangerous out in the world, right? Can be very dangerous, especially for yourself. That it ruins relationships, it ruins friendships, it ruins family dynamics. It can ruin being a parent. You can really damage your child if you're being a monster, And so, again, I think recognizing that you can be a monster, admitting that, and then looking at ways, right? Again, now we get into our journal. Write down, I can be a monster, right? And then ask yourself, in what ways am I being a monster? How am I being a monster? And identify some of those things, right? And then if you want, what is the story I've told myself about why I'm a monster? Maybe some therapy with a therapist, right? You may be able to get to some of the stuff in the journal if you think about what's going on in your life and the things that have come to pass, why you might be feeling insecure, why you might be a monster, why you might want to sabotage yourself, right? I know I've sabotaged myself. Drinking was self-sabotage, right? I was a villain. I was being the anti-hero. I wanted to be the hero, but I wasn't. I worked on being a hero sometimes, but I really wasn't, and I was showing up as a fucking drunken monster who would lose control, who was careless and got a big case of the fuckets. you know? And I had to take a look at that, and I had to admit that those were the things that I was doing. And so I had to switch my story. You know what? To a survivor. I'm going to become a survivor. I am a survivor, but this is the story I'm going to tell myself of survival, right? And I'm working on becoming this hero, but a reasonable hero. I don't want to be Superman, right? Because I'm not Superman, nor will I ever be Superman. So let's not be a superhero, but that doesn't mean that you can't tell the story of being a hero, right? And maybe I don't need to be a hero. Maybe that's it, you know? So maybe I have a moment of clarity here with you guys right now. Maybe I don't need to be a fucking hero, right? Maybe I just need to be a strong man and a decent man, right? I can be strong and I can be decent without having to be a superhero, right? And it's fun to tell these stories, right? It's fun to tell these stories and build these stories, you know? And so let me think on that for a moment here and get to this moment of clarity. Because I talked about telling the hero story about yourself, and that's fine, but be your own hero, right? So that's it. Let me be my hero. Let me save myself first. And that would go into cleaning my own house, right? Taking my inventory, cleaning my house, save myself, be Jason's hero, right? So that would be me reparenting Pooh Bear. And sometimes we need to reparent that inner child, right? So inner little Pooh Bear, he needs a hero to look up to. And who's that hero going to be? It's going to be adult Jason. So I need to set the example for little Pooh Bear and take care of little Pooh Bear. Be my own hero. And in the process of being my own hero and cleaning my own house and having integrity and holding myself accountable to these ideals, I will then show up in the world as a strong and decent man, and I will be able to set the example for my little girl. For little baby Q Bear, right? Pooh Bear and Q Bear. See what I did there? Pooh Bear, yeah. You know, I can parent for Pooh Bear, I can parent for Q Bear, and I can set the example, right? And then as I show up in the world, you guys will see. The people I interact with will see. And hopefully I can attract others who do the work as well. And we will form these communities of people who do the work, and we will attract others to do the work as well, right? Again, I will give you another little saying from Alcoholics Anonymous. It is attraction rather than promotion, okay? So rather than going out there and advertising, we save, no. We attract by our actions. It's attraction rather than promotion. So go out there and set the example. Go out there and, you know, what is that other saying? Be the change you want to see in the world. Really, I like that. But you really have to dive in and do some hard work. There's work involved in being that change, you know? And that's the thing you see in the world right now, is taking this inventory, right? Telling everybody else how they need to live their lives, telling everybody else what they need to do. Well, how about you work on yourself? Do the work on yourself and then just show up in the world that way, and you won't have to tell everybody else what to do. You know? I don't like people telling me how I'm supposed to live my life. I fucking know everything. I know how to live my life. Tell me how to live my life. Well, that's a little bit of ego, but, right? So, hero, good. Superhero, no. Strong man, good. Superman, no. Interesting, right? Strong, decent man. I like that. A strong, decent man who can be a monster, but has that under control. That's the other trick. Be a monster. Be dangerous, right? Admit that it's better to have the ability to be cruel and not use it than to not be able to be cruel at all. Sometimes you got to be cruel. Sometimes a motherfucker needs to know. I mean, and that's true, right? And if you're afraid to do that, if you're afraid to stand up for yourself, because sometimes just telling the truth to somebody without puffing up your chest and being, look, motherfucker, you son of a bitch, without doing it that way, sometimes you have to be able to be strong enough to go, look, your behavior is really shitty, straight up, okay? Your behavior is really shitty and it needs to change, okay? Or I'm not going to fucking be around. And that takes courage, and that can feel like cruelty. That can feel like being cruel, right? And let's think about people, let's think about some people. There are some men and women out there who are highly trained in perhaps something like jujitsu, right? Those people are very dangerous people, but they know how to control it, right? Or karate, martial arts, right? Dangerous people. Think about those men and women in the octagon, right? The UFC. Those are dangerous men and women. And if somebody like that came around you, you'd be on your P's and Q's, right? You would be very cautious to be running your mouth and talking shit, because that person will whoop your fucking ass. You know what I mean? So being able to be cruel and dangerous is a good thing, but being able to control it. Some people are cruel and dangerous and don't understand. They don't admit their problem, and they don't work on controlling it. They just run around being assholes all day long. And that's not fucking cool. Now, that's a true villain, right? But even some of these villains, like if we think about these movies that we watch, even some of these villains, they kind of have it under control. They're assholes, but they kind of have it under control. They know they're fucking assholes, and they run around. And to be honest, there's a certain bit of authenticity and respect that you might have for somebody when they come out and just tell you what they are. Don't be deceitful. If you're a fucking asshole, just be like, look, I'm an asshole. So if you want to, look, I'm an asshole, right? Straight up, I'm always going to be an asshole. I know I'm an asshole. I'm not going to do anything about being an asshole. I don't want to do anything about being an asshole. If you like that and you want to be with an asshole, then come fucking hang out with me and we'll be assholes together. What do you think? Personally, the Berg doesn't want to be an asshole, right? The Berg can be a total asshole. I told you about this 0 to 10 cunt. 0 to cunt in less than 30 seconds, right? Berg can be a total cunt. Big time. And I work on controlling the cunt. That sounds highly. I work on controlling the monster. It takes daily effort and daily practice to work on these things, right? That's why I get in the journal. That's why I pray. That's why I meditate. I go to the gym. If I go to the gym and work out, and do those and go in there and challenge myself, right? Then afterwards, I'm much calmer. If I go out and skateboard, right? Skateboarding is really important to me, right? Now think about this challenge involved in skateboarding. Skateboarding freaking difficult. Very challenging, very difficult. And when I get out there and I challenge myself like that, right? And not only that, but I have fun doing it, right? It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's risky. It's challenging. And it's exercise. So it brings those endorphins in. After I go out and challenge and do those things, I come back and the rest of the world seems just a little bit easier. Seems just a little bit more doable, right? That's one of the reasons I like going to the gym first thing in the morning, because I go in there and I get that hard work in, right? Get up early can be difficult. You train yourself, but getting up early can be difficult. Challenge done, pulled that challenge off. Step 2, go to the gym and work out those challenges. Get challenging, right? So these are two uncomfortable things, right? Getting up early can be uncomfortable. Getting in the gym is uncomfortable. But then the rest of the day, right? Then when challenges come up during the day, I go, I can handle these challenges because I got the 2 big challenges out of the way, right? And you feel good about yourself, right? So now you're motivated, right? And again, Motivation is fickle. Discipline is key, right? But with discipline, say you get up in the morning, you're disciplined. You get up. You don't feel like getting your ass up, but you got up, right? I'll be honest with you. I fucking slept in this morning, dude. I've been... Anyway, but that's another story, right? Let's say, so I didn't get disciplined. I didn't go to the gym this morning. And actually, after I record this podcast, I'm taking my ass to the gym, okay? I ate like shit last night. Didn't get up early this morning. Yeah, but that's... Anyway, I'm going to take my ass to the gym right after this. So if I get up in the early in the morning, right? Challenge 1, done. Uncomfortable. Challenge 2, gym, done. Uncomfortable, right? Discipline. If those things are disciplined, right? Use your discipline on those. Then you maybe find some motivation afterwards, right? Some stress relief, which will just relieve you of the stress of the day. Get out there and, hey, these customers, these folks, some of these unhappy customers are a little bit easier to deal with because I'm not. See, like right now, I'm beating myself up because I didn't get up early and go to the gym. I'm beating myself up. I feel like a pile of shit this morning. I feel like a big pile. Ate a fucking bunch of fucking Twinkies last night and fucking didn't get up early. And I'm feeling like a piece of shit today. See? Right? And if I'm not careful about that, I'll be a villain. I'll go out there and be a monster today. So I really have to pay attention. Oh, what's going on today? Well, you did. Okay. You didn't do the things that help you to feel good about yourself. So be aware of that today and keep that under wraps so that you're not out there being a monster to whoever it is that you might run into. Okay? Think on those things, right? Why am I being a monster today? Fuck. I didn't do those things that make me the strong man. I didn't do those things that fulfill the needs of becoming the person I want to be or being the man I want to be. Didn't do those things, right? Didn't get up early, didn't go to the gym. Shit. So now I'm going to be a monster. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. The stories we tell ourselves, right? Now, it's good to find forgiveness. Right? So I got to forgive myself for not doing those things and get back on it. I still have time to go to the gym. There's still time, and I'm going to go do that, right? There's still time to switch, right? Today I made some poor decisions this morning. That's okay. Jason, I forgive you. Come here. Come, fucking come here. I forgive you, Jay. And we'll make up for that, right? And we'll make up for that. So, again, what are we telling ourselves, guys? What are we telling ourselves, right? Hero versus the villain. Admit that you can be a monster. Admit it. Find ways, right? Admit that you can be a monster. Don't pretend that you're not a monster. Don't pretend that you're a good person pretending so hard that you don't recognize that you're a monster, because that's really bad, right? Then you go out there and act like an asshole and think you're righteous. Woo, fuck. Good Lord. Let's not do that, okay? Let's identify how we are monsters, right? And work on not being a monster, right? And let's also identify how we can be superheroes, right? And not be superheroes. Let's work on being reasonably good and strong people. Okay? Let's see. Just to recap here. Oh, here's another cool question to ask, right? This is another really cool question to ask. What's in it for me? So what's in it for me if I'm a hero? What's in it for Jason? Well, I get to feel more worthy if I'm saving people. So it can be attached to your worth. If I'm saving you, that makes me worthy. Oh. Aha. Right? If I'm saving you, I'm worthy of this strongman position. I get to be the superhero. Anyway, Think on that. What's in it for you? What's in it for me? What's in it for me if I am the superhero? What's in it for me if I'm the villain? I don't have to, if I run around with the case of the fuck it. I'm just going to be a fucking asshole today, a monster. I don't give a fuck about anybody. Well, then now what's in it for you? You get to dodge the stuff inside. You get to dodge everybody else's emotions and feelings. Fuck them, right? Don't care. What's in it for you? So the story you tell yourself and what's in it for you, hero, villain, superhero, supervillain, right? Is that perfection you're striving for? The superhero, that's perfectionism, right? That's perfectionism. Are we perfect? No, we're imperfect humans, right? Accepting our imperfections, accepting our vulnerability. Those are our greatest strengths. Your greatest strength is identifying your weaknesses. That, in my opinion, that's true vulnerability. That's your greatest strength. If, Brene Brown says so too. She believes it. I believe that too. Others too. Jocko Willink talks about that, right? Identifying your weaknesses. That's a strength. Your weaknesses can become strengths, right? And identifying those. So, hero, villain, justify. Are you justifying? Are you projecting? Right? All right, guys. Some stuff to think on. Some stuff to get in those comments, man. I love you guys. Peace.
You know what time it is.
Time to stand up and speak your mind. In this elitist jungle, keep the beats alive. Whether yoga or doja that keeps you high. Gotta stay up, cause on the street you die. Time to wake up and see the light. Stop counting sheep, seize your life. Free your eyes and see suns rise on the horizon, where the street meets the sky.
The master's ignorance feeds our master's greed.